Now, during the First World War, China had the largest of the non-European workforces on the Western Front. CCTV's Jack Barton visited the battlefields to explore the legacy of the Chinese Labour Corps, who would help set the course of history in Europe and at home.
The Somme region in northern France. A quiet, rural landscape once paid witness to some of the most brutal battles of the First World War. The grim reminders of that war dot the landscape every few kilometres. Cemeteries containing the remains of some of those who fought, as well as non-combatants, such as men from the Chinese Labour Corps.
There were some 140,000 Chinese labourers sent from China, mainland China, to France and Belgium, to the Western Front.
Historians say the Allied armies soon ran short of manpower, with tens of thousands of Europeans dying in the trenches, sometimes on a single day.
And at that very same moment, the new Chinese Republic, the First Republic, offers to join the Allies, not by sending troops, but by sending labourers.
The men who arrived here were not supposed to work on the front line, but with the recent inventions of planes, modern artillery and chemical warfare, nowhere was safe.
About 3,000 were killed, of whom about 1,800 have known graves.
Those graves range from a half-dozen men to this, the largest cemetery at Noyelles-sur-Mer, which served as their headquarters. This cemetery contains the remains of 842 members of the Chinese Labour Corps. Some died on the battlefield, others from the influenza that swept across Europe in the years after the war. The men helped turn the tide against the Germans and ensured China was a signatory of the Armistice Treaty.
They expected to get compensation for their territorial losses during the war, particularly Shandong. But much to their surprise, they arrived at the peace conference just to find out that everything had been arranged beforehand.
And because China was really humiliated by the other allies, including Japan, mainly Japan, the Chinese government refused to sign the treaty as the only allied body. But it also, as a reaction to the humiliation, it caused the May 4th movement in China, which in itself would galvanize modern Chinese nationalism.
So these are the men who helped set the course of modern Europe and China, and whose legacy, after 100 years, is only now fully being understood and appreciated. Jack Barton, CCTV, Noyelles-sur-Mer in France.